Welcome back. General principles of learning. Over the years, what I have observed by doing teaching and also by learning about teaching is that the learning is diverse. There is no one method of learning which will cater for all. Each learner is different. Although we adopt lectures as the most common way of delivering teaching, it may not suit all. And some learners would like one to one teaching, which may not be practicably available. However, a department tries to combine more than one method of teaching, and each consultant strives hard to deliver the teaching a trainee needs. But however, because you are all postgraduate trainees, mostly the learning is led by the trainee himself. So you must seek out what is your way of learning and use the available resources to cater for your needs. So there are different methods of learning. Say for example, we have the different methods of teaching. Say to start with, one is a lecture or case-based discussions or one-to-one teaching, or you may have small group teaching. You may have didactic delivery of teaching, or you may have interactive. There are other kinds like workshops and so on. A department may not be well equipped to deliver all sorts of teaching at all the times. There will be some amount of teaching done at a regular basis, and it is up to you to design the method that suits you and seek out for the opportunities. And I would say more than one method of learning always helps. When we say learning, the learning there are two types of learning. One is the theoretical knowledge and another one is the practical skills. Let's talk about the theoretical knowledge. The theoretical knowledge learning goes in a form of a pyramid, which I already alluded to last time, which is Bloom's taxonomy. The Bloom's taxonomy says the first level of learning is remembering. It's a factual understanding and remembering of the typical content. Say, for example, you have to learn the alphabets first to learn about the words, and then numbers first to learn about the operations. And once you learn certain things and say why it is there, so that's the understanding bit. How, why, and what makes it so. Then applying it. Why should I learn it and where is it applied? An adult learner always looks for application. So these are the levels of the learning that is tested in your exam as well as your day-to-day practice. So you should be able to apply the knowledge. A knowledge that is not applied is mostly a short-lived, and it tends to get lost in the due course of time. And then look for analysis. Why it is so? I'm applying here, and why does it work? And how else we may make it work? And what other explanations are there for it to work like this? And then finally the synthesis. The available information is synthesized and may be able to reproduce in a different form, or may be able to store in your memory in a different form. So when you undergo all these kinds of learning, it is always important to remember a learning happens more efficiently when you anchor it to the information that you already know. Anchoring. That means relating the new information to something that you already know. So therefore, when you try to access that information from your memory, you go back to the one that you already know, and from there you get the new bit of learning. So that's called Bloom's taxonomy. From the practical point of view, when you are learning practical skills, your learning goes like this. You will be first, you will be like a novice. You have not seen, you have not heard, you have not learned anything. So for everything that appears new to you, you seem to be kind of getting lost in the big sea of information. As you keep seeing the more and more same things like induction of general anesthesia or administration of spinal anesthesia, and so you become familiar, but you still do not understand how things work, how it is done, why it is done. So you are still in a beginning stage of learning. As you do more and more, and as you observe more and more, and undergo specific set of reading, learning, and applying, you will become competent. This is the stage where your initial assessment of competency for set of 10 to 12 competencies is done, and then you will be considered as competent to do certain number of patients, certain types of patients during certain times of the day under supervision. And once you become competent, you have a wider knowledge of the specialty that you are working in, and that will make you finally proficient. So this stage you will achieve by the end of 3 to 4 years of your anesthetic training, where you are able to make decisions based on the facts, but you are still not completely an expert. An expert stage will be reached depending on the level of exposure that you have had, level of learning that you have had in the previous periods of training. An expert, like a consultant, experienced consultant, take wider remits into consideration, not just the task focused, but also on the other aspects. So this is called Dreyfus model of learning. Dreyfus and Dreyfus, they took it from the airline industry. If you want to learn more about it, you can just Google it and go through it. It's quite an interesting model where the learners are classified into different stratas depending on the degree of their competence. And finally, when you are learning, you have to adopt different ways. The first learning obviously starts from reading. For some people, it may start from listening and then practically see, then go back to read and write about it. If you are able to summarize what we have learned in the form of a flowchart or a succinct notes in your own words, then that kind of indicates that you have understood the things. But then you can go back and use different methods to reinforce your learning. Sometimes whatever you have learned by reading and writing, if you practically apply it and discuss it with your peers or with your seniors, that will reinforce the learning too. So you have to adapt different methods, not one method, to reinforce your learning. You should always learn for the sake of learning. Learn for the sake of learning. And if you take analogy, even if it is silly, or you can take the form of a mnemonic, an abbreviation, whatever it takes. You have to basically remember the stuff and reproduce the stuff after understanding, of course. So that keeps your learning reinforced. Finally, I have introduced to all the trainees that come through the department now is the reflection log. You can do the reflection in the form of writing. You can write a log of your reflection in your diary or whatever, and also keep the track of progress using the Dreyfus, the sustained high performance diamond. Basically, you can choose the parameters that you like. So how much you enjoy, how much is your knowledge improvement, how much do you see it usefulness, and how much, say for example, the time taken to learn. So you can choose the parameters that you want to keep a track of. And then initially, if you track time taken to learn something will be very long and your enjoyment will be very low. you feel forced to learn something, and then you see the usefulness fairly high up here, and then your knowledge may be very low. So your initial diamond will be like this. If I change the color of it, it will look, a shaded diamond will be like this. Over a period of time, as you gain more knowledge, then the time taken will be shorter. Let me change the color again. Time taken will be shorter. So to learn the same stuff, it will take a lot less time, and your knowledge levels have increased, and then you started to enjoy the information because it is making more sense, and you still see the usefulness has not changed much from wherever it was. So your diamond keeps changing. So by keeping the track of your learning in the form of a pictorial diagram, in the form of a picture, will help you keep the track of how your learning is going. So the reflection is very heavy now in medical practice. For everything you are expected to reflect, and using the reflection to your best advantage will be a useful tool to make your learning efficient. As I say, the learning and expectations of you to achieve a lot in the first 2.5 years is quite high. So you must use all the available methods to make the learning not only enjoyable but also efficient. So far, we have learned about the basics of the curriculum. We have learned about the curriculum. We learned about different methods of teaching available. Methods of teaching. We learned about methods of learning. We also learned about the stages of learning. Stages of learning. When I say stages of learning, it's for both theoretical learning and the practical skills. Theoretical learning, we learned about Bloom's taxonomy. Practical skills, we learned about Dreyfus model and use of reflection log to keep the track of your learning. So I hope it is useful to you, and we'll come back and start learning about the theory behind the anesthetic practice, which is basic sciences and clinical sciences, as we go along.